Welcome, everybody. It's time for a traditional Zendikar Rising draft. I've chosen this myself. Premier narrowly beat out traditional yesterday, so I'm just going to jump right into traditional today. And that means sideboarding. That means an oddly steep curve. We get our guaranteed 3 matches, which is nice. The prize structure in this event baffles me a little bit. I think Wizards needs a middle-of-the-road steepness curve. You've got Premier with an extremely steep curve, which is to say that it rewards high win counts and really punishes low win counts. If you don't win a lot in the Premier queue, you get wiped out at 1,500 gems. If you win a ton in the Premier queue, you get a nice profit with the packs and everything. And then you've got Quick Draft, where it's extremely flat. You win a little bit for every win, so that if you happen to max out your wins in Quick Draft, yeah, it's profitable, but it's not some huge prize. It's mainly a steady as she goes kind of queue. And I really think that this queue would be best if it took some of these gems. So you get 1,000 here. Let me get into this view so you can see what I'm even talking about. You get 1,000 gems for 2 wins and 3,000 gems for 3 wins, but then 0 gems for 1 win. And I think this queue would be better if they shifted some of the gems from 2 and 3 wins down to the 1 win. You can certainly say no gems needed for 0 wins, but if you gave some nominal gems for the 1 win and flattened this a little bit, it would provide a medium-sized risk factor for a lot of players. Because I know a lot of players who like the idea of this queue, but hate how hard it is to get a return, that all the value is packed into the 3 wins. It's very steep. So a little surprising that they would be so steep here. And if you don't want steep costs in your Magic the Gathering tabletop game, though, you're going to check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. Get them through my affiliate link, and then all of your activity there is credited to my stream, which helps me out. And the economy there is great because they have the best buy prices in the industry. If you're done with some Magic cards and want to turn them into cash, you definitely want to flip them to Card Kingdom. And you can also get some credit. There's that I feel like I haven't mentioned, because it's kind of industry standard now, but it's worth mentioning. Yes, 30% bonus on trade-ins. So if you want to sell your cards to Card Kingdom for trade-in value instead of cash, you'll get the cash value plus an additional 30% that you get to use on store credit. So that's a nice way to keep your ecosystem in Magic going. Take the stuff you're not playing and turn it into resources to get the stuff you want to play. And life goes on, Magic goes on, and your wallet stays a little bit fatter. So check them out for that, please. And thank you for that sub, Pabloy. Appreciate that. Pabloit. And we're going to dive in here. Let's see what... I don't know how fast the queues are going. I'm hoping that since this is early times that we will... still need a forest. I don't think we don't have a full art forest from these rewards yet. I'm gonna work on my info here. We are 0-0. Of course. And we are traditional today. Yeah, we had 5 bubble snares yesterday. Let's see what we got. Ooh, a mythic. I hope this is awesome. Ancient Greed Warden, 4 green for a 5/7 reach. Hope it's got more. You may play lands from your graveyard. If a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. That seems very build around good. I guess we're going to take this but yeah, I clearly got to go for the landfall on it. But look, we've got a Cleansing Wildfire that we should wheel. If we don't wheel this, that's kind of bad news for this pick. We also don't need to marry this pick if chat, or sorry, not chat, if the pod here tells us to go elsewhere, we can. But yeah, I don't think. Hey, if we wheel the Scythe Cat, awesome. But I'm just hoping to wheel the old Wildfire here. But if we wheel the cat or bite, we can certainly fist pump it. I got this here. What's this? Valakut Awakening. 2 and a red for an instant. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards +1. But of course, it enters as a land, so it's kind of a free spell in that regard. Is that better than Rabid Bite? That's my question. It's in the right colors. If we want to do the Ancient Green Warden, we certainly want to be red-green landfall, and we hope that we wheel this Wildfire. Rabid Bite has enough setup cost that I think, yeah, we do just take the Awakening here. This is a tough call on clean removal, but I think in tough call situations when it comes to these modal double-faced cards, I'm gonna go with that. Krauser likes Bite. I get it. It's close. Hey, look at this. This often wheels. A third Bite that we're passing. But I'm going to move in on this. I'm going to take the Elemental. Nah, I'm call this science. Maybe I'm not being a grown-up with my picks, but I'm moving in on the plan. Yeah, maybe that again. I just. This all works towards what we want to do here, so I'm doing it. Got a Nectar Pot that is really not where we want to be. We could just take a Tormenting Voice, since the Ancient Green Warden allows lands to be played from graveyard. Feed the Swarm would be a grown-up pick that's not marrying this, but I'm kind of married now, honestly. I'm ready to ride or die here. And on that front, I'm gonna take the Electromancer and wheel one of those other two. Ooh, this might pull me off though. Could end up black-red potentially. Let's take a Brute. This might wheel as well. I'm moving in. Maybe we'll 0-3 this, but I'm moving in. I want to try. Zendikar seems good for us. A little expensive. We need to worry about our low end here, but this seems on plan. The Mace was decent in. It's been good against me in Black-Red Party. I think Black-Red Party is legit. Molten Blast is good. This is good. Well, Vanquish still being here is somewhat signaling, but again, I've already declared my intent with this Bride here. Grotag Nightrunner is also nice. Maybe we'll do some weird half-party stuff, but Hellion is good. Blast is playable, and Runner gets lands. I'm going to take the Runner. Hellion is nice, but I want to get lower curve, and we'll have more chances at Hellions, I believe. Stomper, also nice for these decks, pulling back more cards, but we're going to take removal over the Stomper right now. This is close, though. I think the Stomper is fine in general, but it's very good when you're trying to re-trigger Brushfire Elemental every turn, right? So I'm going to take the Spellcraft because it's removal, but I'm eyeing that Stomper and sure hope we don't end up with 0. Here's the Wildfire Wheeling. Zendikar over. Yeah, we're not going to really have much room for equipment here. Oh, we knew we weren't. You thought we were getting the kitty back? Anybody thought we were getting kitties or bites here was being a little optimistic. Well, this is a landfall. We could take a Lagak for landfall. I don't know if we want a third Zendikar. I think maybe this type of deck plays 2, but not 3, so let's take a Lagak. Yeah, Lagak is awesome. Lagak sucks. Lagak is playable. I would call, like, if we were to do the limited resources sunset show on this show right now, this might be my pick for grudgingly playable. '24th card type thing. I try not to, but sometimes. I don't think this deck has really room for combat tricks either. I mean, I'll pull it, but maybe we'll play it. But like, I really think we need to be focused on synergies, which means looking for land-based stuff. And oh, what a rotten pack to open. Bugcatcher's okay, but like that we have to start on a Scythe Cat is not where we want to be. Aspirant is kind of bomby, really. If this goes unchecked, you just kind of win with it. But we're nowhere near white, so let's just stick to the plan and take the Scythe Cat and let somebody else be happy to get past Aspirant. You would splash that? I don't know. Part of its power, part of the extreme power of this card is how good it is on 2. And you just kind of cut off that avenue of possibility when you make it a splash. And Scythe Cat is good enough that I'm just taking it. Well, I like Spell Land here over Survivor and Molten Blast. I could be convinced maybe that was wrong, but also we don't have anything for the splash yet. And I feel like splashing has punished me a lot lately, so maybe I'm a little splash shy. Look, my deck is going around, but we'll take a Rabid Bite now. Yeah, right? Never seems to punish your opponents. Perfect mana on turn 3 every time. Whereas I'm playing 2 colors and can't find my second, you know? That's classic. Blue's pretty open, but, you know, a married man can't go looking around like that. Sproutling, do we have enough to anything to justify a Sproutling? Oh, I love that card so much, but it's just not for this deck, is it? So what is? We could take the Blight Blade to make use of this Rabid Bite and Future Bites, or just another Spellcraft. I do think we need removal, but the point of removal is so that you cannot die to stuff while you get under you. Yeah, we could still get kicker stuff. We could take a Sproutling. Maybe I take a Sproutling on spec. I'll take it on spec. It's not an unplayable card as it is, and yeah, it's just so powerful if we can get anything for it that I'm in for that. We could take a Kite Sail. I like Kite Sail in red-green, both to give some defense against flying and to provide some flying. But I think we might just want the Ascetic over it here. Trouble is we're also going to be tending more expensive. We're not that expensive yet. Yeah, we could take the Ascetic. I just don't think we're really, like, this isn't doing much for us. I'm going to take a Kite Sail. And Lagak is also possible, but I think we wheel that. Like, I'll take multiple Lagaks, but let's get them later than that. Although Kite Sail probably wheels too. That was somewhat of a whatever pack. Speaking of whatever packs, nothing here for us except the observation that black was open enough that we could have pivoted, could have had 2 maces and go with it. I'm not, David. I announced my intentions to marry this bride on pack 1, pick 3, and we're just gonna roll with it. If this day doesn't go well, if I 0-3, if we don't win a single match with this deck, all right, well, we got hastily married and learned a lesson. No biggie. I'm excited to try something different, actually. We haven't done a red-green landfall deck since the preview stream, if I recall. So I don't think it looks very good. It's not doing much. But I'm not gonna worry about it. We can take a Sneaking Guide. I know Marshall and Luis hated this card, but like maybe with the Night Runner you could justify it. I'm gonna take it and maybe see. We are a landfall deck, but we're not super aggressive. We do want to continue to play lands, but I think I'll take Molten Blast over Hellhound. These things just run out of steam so fast. I need them to be reasonable on their own, you know? Like, I don't need the landfall creatures to be amazing, but they need to do something without having landfall, and that one literally doesn't. So I'm going to skip that And we're going to take Broken Wings here. Nice board card. Yeah, Hellhound can be a strategy, but we just don't seem like we're there, right? We'll just send the obvious blue signal here. Let everybody know they can take the blue cards. Actually, I should take Vault Progress here. Don't think we're running this, but I'll throw it in the board. Barrage, maybe on the play if we get some trample and we feel like we're going to be in combat a lot. It's a lot of what ifs, but there are some scenarios where I can be happy to play this. I saw a red rare and got excited, but it's not a very good one. Although it's a good, maybe we try it because I guess this is the best for it, right? The landfall deck. There's a bite here that's probably the grown-up pick.
Grown-ups.
So I'm going to take the bite and be the grown-up, but if this wheels, I'll try it. I'm not being grown-up about... I'm irresponsibly getting married, but I'm trying to be a good husband. We've got a Spikefield Hazard here, but there's Stomper we'd like to wheel. I think we're gonna try and wheel this other stuff and either take the Vastwood Surge, but I think we just take the land. You want the Stomper or the Surge? I'm going to. I'm listening to Luis. This is just a fine default place to be. Modal land is. It's hard to be wrong to take an on-color modal land. Oh, I saw this, but I think we just want the Royal Eruption. I don't know if we're doing enough. This is a 2-for-1. But Royal Eruption is too good and gives us something nice to get back with Sproutling. So I'm going to go for the Royal Eruption. Nah, we don't have 0 party members. I think we actually have a decent smattering across. So like it wouldn't be 0, but we'll take it. I've never had this card before. We don't have a ton of wizards. It's not going to activate much, but it's kind of a must kill. And it's just the hill giant with this kind of upside is pretty easy to take. We could take a Cleansing Wildfire here, but now I'm going to go for a Stomper. I do want some more Wildfires if we could get them, but Stomper is going to be better for us. We need that top end. Like I was saying, I was hoping we made sure we had one at least. And I would even take a second if one came around, but a really great spot to get a Stomper. Veteran Adventurer is not going to be heavily discounted for us, but it'll probably be 5. And in that case, I would like a 5/5 Vigilance that gives us party mechanics across the board over Ascetic that's a 5/4 for some life. Tormenting Voice. I'm going to take that over another Barrage. Again, I can see some worlds where we bring a Barrage in, but Tormenting Voice is not great in this format, but good enough. And I saw this Wildfire. I was like, hey, we got a Wildfire. Hey, the table finally had enough of Rabid Bites. So there you go. And now maybe we get our rare. But mostly people rare draft enough on Arena that you don't get rares on the wheel, but if we did, it would be neat. I would totally try that red rare because it seems like it's at its best in landfall. Yeah, but we didn't get it back. We could take a Nectar Pot for a dumb 2-drop if we feel like we need dumb 2-drops. Kind of feel like we do, so I'm going to take dumb 2-drop. You want the Brute? Brute is fine. I don't hate the Brute, but I just feel like we're more in need of 2-drops than not. So here's a Brute I'll take over this. I'm again not into the Hellhounds. I feel they run out of steam too quickly and then don't do enough without the landfall. They don't do anything without the landfall except prevent some damage on the ground. Little G-Wise asks, how many Riptides is too many in a kicker deck? I drafted 6. I think 4 is good. Yeah, 4 seems correct. Obviously, if it depends on a couple of factors. What other 3s do you have going on? And just what is your density of kicker? Because if you are insane on kicker, like if you're like 6 Risen Reefs and everything else kicks, then I would be inclined to just like run all 6, you know. But I think 4 sounds sensible in an average case situation where you have some other 3s that are worth playing, and just an average amount of kicker. Con Mage, I was passing to you. Did you end up in blue? We thought blue was wide open, and honestly, I just if you didn't watch my draft as it was happening, I opened on Ancient Green Warden, took something, and then a Brushfire Elemental. What was my second pick? Anybody remember? Maybe it was a land spell. I think it was the red land spell of some kind, right? Yeah, it was like this. So anyway, I moved in on red-green landfall, kind of in the dark on 3 picks, and then kind of probably hooked you up in whatever was actually open. I'm with you, Haj. Like, I got really excited about this when I first saw it, because hey, Signpost Uncommon, this is telling us what to do. I think this format and this archetype and this card really suffer from lack of strong ability to hit landfall twice in a turn. You got Cleansing Wildfire. We ended up with 1, but there's not really a ton of ways to double landfall, and I think that really hurts the landfall deck. But I'm still looking forward to playing this again. I don't care. I'm going to accept. I'm going to be good spirited about my results today. If we have terrible results, it's on me. I announced marriage, and we're going to see how it goes. But I'm excited for the experiment. So all good from my perspective. Let's see what we've got on the land front and what we're actually trying to cut down to. Yeah, how useless it becomes. I mean, I was saying I'm not going to play this the dog or whatever, the hound, right? The O1, because it just doesn't do enough. Well, here's one that's like, it's just a 1/1. I guess it's a 1/1 that can't be blocked by small things, so that's something. But yeah. Anyway, let's count our lands. I want to count all of these as lands. Basically, I'm going to go, we have 17, 18, 19, 20, 19, 18 there. I think that's where we want to be on lands. We're a landfall deck, so we just generally want 18 anyway, but I'm counting all of these as lands. And then let's see what we want to cut, and also what we've got here. 14, 14. And maybe electric. We have some stuff going on. With, let's see, what was our party stuff? Was there something we had that was like really actually looked at party? I mean, this looks at party, but it's not what I was thinking about. Or did we pass something that looked at party and now it doesn't matter? Yeah, maybe we passed something. Yeah, right. Spark Mage, we passed it. That's right. So party's not no party reward, so no big deal. Zendikars are not creatures in this data, but they are creatures effectively. So you can think of this as 1612 right now, but I think we want to cut non-creatures if possible. I'm going to cut the Kite Sail and bring it in as needed. Sneaking Guide in this situation, what does it do besides get our Night Runner through? Maybe getting the Night Runner through is not enough, and we just let this creature go. And then Rock Slide Sorcerer Yeah, we're not going to cut it. I'm just saying it doesn't do much, but we're not going to cut it. We're going to scare people with it. Veteran Adventure triggers it at least, right? Kite Sail is a win con, but it costs a whole card. When cards like this work, they seem so great because they do. They win you. They're like, yes, I got my. They're a little bit behind. I got a Kite Sail onto my huge creature, and I've won with it. Boom. Right? It feels great. It's really hard to see the times where you lost with a Kite Sail in play that didn't do much, and if it had just been a creature, you could have stabilized. That's my problem with the Kite Sail and why I would prefer to bring it in when I see, I don't even think we need it much because we have Zendikar with Reach. But if we feel like we're up against maybe another red-green deck that's just, if we feel like we are staring on the ground in a stalled board with an opponent, then I think I like bringing it in, but I think I'm going to start it in the board. Would you cut it because you don't think you can get there? I mean, a 2/3 for 3 is like a default stat. I mean, that's a D, right? So it's a D with a chance to get an extra card. I agree that it's not hyper likely, but I'm still going to run it. Yeah, I like cutting voice. I think that's a great call. And I think everything else here is fine, is acceptable. Deck doesn't look great, but I'm excited to do something different today. So we made a lot of marriage jokes, so our deck name has to be a marriage jokes. Let's call this Shotgun Wedding. And my bride is the Ancient Green Warden. Gruely Matrimony is pretty good. Stomping Grounds for Divorce. Very good, Hat. Seems a little long, though. I'm just going to laugh at that, but not make it the title because it's too long, but chef's kiss. Chimero had an AMA about the card pricing. I guess I'll just give you your money back, but hopefully I answered that question well enough. And looks like Krauser wants full ZNR, but as indicated, Krauser, I don't think we have a green one yet, but we can go. We'll go take a look, Krauser, and Ox on the box for Hat. And Krauser, I'll show you what we got, but I'm pretty sure we do not have full art red ZNR, but we should have a green ZNR, but we have red, I think. Yeah, we have lots of red options. I don't think we've used this one yet. And then we'll do our other. I think we used this yesterday, so make sure D gets the full experience. We'll use this one today. Well, I'm not doing a full and a not full. Gotta have two full. AZX wants to cut the Cleansing Wildfire because it's a one-time landfall, but no, it's more than that. It replaces itself, and it's a one-time second landfall on the same turn, which I think is worth taking. Yeah, the draw, right? It replaces itself, so it's a kind of a must play in the landfall deck. IMO. And I wish we had more. Let's do this. Take a screenshot for my spreadsheet. And we'll see what we can do with this. What do you think? If we play this out a gazillion times, what's my average win count? Not loving that. This is grudgingly keepable. And we don't have rewards for Wizard Rogue. I guess Wizard into Wizard is a keep, right? We want to play this Wizard after this Wizard. This might get us cards back, so we get to ditch the Lagak. Really want a land next turn untapped. Really want to drop this Night Runner on 3 with a Rabid Bite backup, and then maybe, just maybe, we can find a way through next turn. So if Oppo follows with no other creature or another 2 toughness creature, we should be able to get in. Hey, fool, welcome. Boom. I think we know what we're going to bite. Unfortunately, well, if Rabid Bite were red, we could play the Electromancer, get 2 red, and bite. But since it's not, we won't, and we're going to do this. I don't know when we would ever use such an emote around here. Got there. And now, so Night Runner has probably been as about as good as it can be for us, which is to me saying that we that we traded off for this Scythe Cat right now. And then, but we could also Zendikar it up and move in with the Zendikar as well. And what is our other option? Dropping a Rockslide Sorcerer to set up for next turn. Well, if we want to, if I want to attack with the Zendikar, obviously I need to play it now. The other option is to just attack with a Night Runner and see if they take the trade or not. 0 triggers in hand for Rockslide? We don't. We have 1 actually. But I'm gonna, yeah, I don't want to do the Electromancer because I want it to follow the Rockslide Sorcerer, though. They won't. You don't think they'll trade? I hope not. I mean, that would be. I think that's good for us. Yeah, I would snap trade. Or I can't. Okay, well, that's a different reason to trade. I would trade that, though. Man, I keep getting got by the Duelist. Maybe I need to reevaluate. The thing is, again, it doesn't leave much behind. Like, I feel got by it, but then I remember that it's kind of like a 1-for-1 because the body behind isn't that much, but I do keep getting got by it. So let's go... land, Rockslide Sorcerer, and then maybe next turn there'll be a reason to play this for some damage. Yeah, it's a combat trick that leaves behind a weak body, right? Like I said, this isn't the, like, it's not an amazing card for us, but it's a total lightning rod. Although, a lightning rod where we just end up dead anyway is no, no great No great prize. We could drop an Electromancer, get 1 red, but then there's nothing else to cast for 3, so we're going to go Zendikar on Forest. And I'm going to stay back and be willing to trade off. If the Scythe Cat becomes a 5/3, we're definitely going to offer. Don't have much else we can do here. Do I use full control during serious matches? You mean like on the whole time? Never. No. Do I use full control in certain spots, either to try to trick my opponent or to try and make sure I pull off a very careful maneuver? Then yes, absolutely. Well, we are only mostly dead, but we're very much mostly dead.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Right now we have a block on the Scythe Cat, and we go to 1 off of Duelist and Colony, but I expect we're dead here. I mean, they just need to bounce it or whatever, and then we're dead. Nothing we can do. I don't know. I feel like maybe I could have played around the Duelist, and if we'd done that, possibly we have a better spot here, but I don't know how much I'm supposed to play around the Duelist either. All right, not completely dead is pretty good. We can play the Forest out of the graveyard. We can stomp to get some stuff back and have a fortification. If we have blocks in their 2 biggest, we still look dead to the other stuff, though, so maybe we need to find 2 creatures, which means Electromancer, Zendikar. So it looks like that's what we got to do here. Yeah, I guess 3 color too, right, Haj? Maybe gotta let myself go on that one. Now we have a forest, and after blocks we can actually cast this, so we can even cast our fortification if it becomes relevant. They've got the bite to finish us off, it seems. I don't know. It feels like they're measuring up a removal spell, but maybe they're just reading. Well, we get to match that with a Stomper of our own next turn, but these landfall triggers are going to continue to grow these kitties potentially to above Green Warden levels, and that's where we're in trouble. Although that's where the Vastwood Fortification helps as well. If we can surprise them with just 1 extra power and toughness. Yeah, certainly a lot of trample on the horizon there. Do these all just naturally have it? Trample? Yeah, these are all just natural tramplers. Just making sure there wasn't something we could try and kill or whatever. Veteran Adventure, not as good as just playing a Stomper. A little extra power, and we get some. We can replay a land. Although we could also just, yeah, we could do this and have the fortification up. 5/5 versus 6/5, very little difference. But 6/5 is a little better, so we'll do that. Yeah, it's true. Are you suggesting hold these for future landfall? I just like that this at least provides. I mean, maybe we're just dead if they kill the 4/4 anyway, but this allows us to be able to play it if they kill it. So. And I do like having one landfall trigger. It's possible we draw our own Scythe Cat and want to trigger it, you know? We might just be dead, but let's make Oppo figure it out. The trample damage should be enough at this point, especially with the extra landfall. It's possible they decide to be safe somehow and wait a turn, and maybe we find removal that gives us outs. I think that's overrated, Grain. We're just as likely to see things from them. You know, look, they showed us a third Skycat, right? And I think it's pretty rare that leaked information at this point in a game with this kind of cards actually causes any play change and sideboard change for an opponent. I bet Oppo's done pretty good math here, but we'll throw blocks and see what happens. They say math is for blockers. Sometimes math is for the computer. So we can go here and fortify. Here, there's only one trample. Actually, no, we need to go like here for no trample. Here for no trample. Here, and then we get one. Right, yeah, this, technically, we're alive, right? Oh, trample one? Yeah. I don't know if maybe I was there a block I had? Maybe that means we just didn't have it. I mean, I think we stopped all the trample damage we could, right? Or no, maybe I flipped it. Oh, I think we had a save. Yeah. Was there? I think we were dead? Okay, I thought maybe if I had the 5/7 and the 4/4, my thought was maybe if I'd flipped the 5/7 and the 4/4, we could have prevented enough trample. But I think maybe there was just too much trample to stop. Let's see. Do we need a? Yeah, Broken Wings does nothing here. Do we want our own kite sail? Are we worried? No, we got a lot of reach. Do we want to try and fly over them? Yeah, they didn't have reach. Maybe we just try to get there. If we think their deck is better, we put this in to try and get there on some luck, basically, or not luck, but just that this gets them dead before their superior deck can take over. I thought I had a line that kept us alive, and then I didn't, and then now I don't know if there was a line that kept us alive because I didn't look further when I thought I found one that was one. As that goes sometimes. But what do we can cut a Molten Blast. We don't, but the Molten Blasts are going to be good for those kitties to get them before they get big. We could cut a random creature that we don't like. A Brute. Bring in Sentinel. Yeah, we could bring in Sentinel and toss a Brute there. Thank you for that raid. And... yeah, sure, fine. Let's hit done before I lose the race condition. We'll see if I don't know if I got my submission in time. We'll see. Well, where are you playing? Radianware, in what queue did you experience that? But what queue? Because if you're not playing in the play queue, they don't look at deck contents. And but if you got bronze, like what were they? But if they were still bronze, they're not looking at it. They're not looking at what's in your deck. They're just looking at your rank. We got a 3. We got our 6. We got a lot of land, but this is a landfall deck. Yeah, I think this has disaster potential, but I think we should keep. Because we do have a Sentinel, and we actually have a card that gets this back. I didn't think of that in including this, but we are playing the kicker returner, so the punt returner. So let's see. Yeah, we can cantrip, find more action. There's an argument for waiting on this until we can trigger it, since we have a turn 3 play already. I'm gonna wait. If we didn't have a thing to do on 3, I would do this, but we already have something we intend to do on 3, so I'm fine waiting. And I'm also fine trading the Sentinel off for that Blight Blade if it attacks, given that we can get back kicker cards from the graveyard. I might get duelisted again, but that's fine. Again, this is eyes wide open if they want to get me with the duelist. Spikefield Hazard. Ouch. If I'd known Hazard was on top, would not have made that block. But yes, we can save that for the kitty. And right now, I guess now we have to Wildfire, though. And I'm going to get rid of a forest and find a forest. Actually, we got 2 forests in hand. Maybe I'll find a mountain. Keep it even. We have a Rabid Bite, but no use for it quite yet. Here we expect a kitty cat that's going to eat a spike. Yeah, it is kind of rough art. I really don't want that happening to my arm. Yeah, well, I thought they might draw. Assuming they find a land, they're probably going to follow with a kitty. We can't find action. Oppo can't find lands, but all right. Hopefully they drop a kitty here and we pick it off. That'd be great. Ah, that is not great. Playing this next will be great if we can keep it around, but I just feel like we're going to get this into the Roiled now and be unhappy. We could stomp her, but nah. Not time for that. Yeah, there's a lot. Royal or Bubble here both just laugh at us. Although we have a Rabid Bite. Bubble would be better, because then we can still use our Rabid Bite effectively. Unfortunately, it is what I feared it would be. Sproutling is here to get back our kicker card if we are ever given the chance. We could Sproutling and Rabid Bite, but that's not enough for the familiar. But Sproutling blocks here, Rabid Bite kills the squid. So I think we just have to do something here. Yeah, Hazard plus Bite. Where are we? Oh, you want to do Hazard plus Bite to kill the familiar? No, that's okay. We just need to not die, and I think Sproutling getting back our Sentinel and then following with a Bite is going to be fine. Or it's our best chance, I should say. Spike it too. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to live, but this isn't what's killing us. We needed to deal with 2 creatures there, and we did by creating Sproutling to deal with the colony and Rabid Bite for the squid. Yeah, Shaman, I think you're too hung up on killing the familiar specifically. They're tanking. Sorry for the dead air here. I'm just cycling through my own thoughts on what they might be up to and what they're thinking about here. That's not bad for us. That's not bad. Now we can go with the Green Warden, and then that allows us to still have Spike Field, and we can play this forest from the graveyard as well. And then play Sentinel next turn, or we can just kick the Sentinel. But I think Green Warden as a 5/7 actually stops this 6/5 effectively. So we're going to want to play the Green Warden and hold up Hazard. Most people are not sniping. They're like, I've been streaming for close to 2 years now. I think there's only one case where we were pretty darn certain that we were getting stream sniped. Everything else has been explainable by good magic, you know. I think it's a very uncommon practice. Well, for a streamer at my level, I mean, I think if you're Luis or Kenji, maybe that plagues you a little more than it would us. Yeah, a lot of steps have to come to pass, and we think it's happened maybe once around here. Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of people seem to love it. Let's get you on Fridays. Come on, join the gauntlet. Let's turn that hate to love. Oppo deep in the tank here. Are they trying to find a winning line, or just trying to figure out what the next best thing they can do is? Yeah, we are in the landfall deck. Got none of these Baloths. Wouldn't mind these at the 4-drop. What a weird attack. Okay, so we've got 2 mana available. Does suggest, very suggestive of the pump spell. So we should probably double block, given that it's only, so it can only get up to 9/8. So this could be a 9/8. Well, -2, -0 makes no sense, because then we just eat it. Or they just bounce off each other. It'd be weird to send this in for a bounce off. I expect that it's might, and so we should be asking ourselves how we're dealing with a 9/8, and that means with a double block. Then I'm at least going to make sure that this Baloth gets taken down. We have no choice, though. This is a forced block, so we're just asking ourselves how we're going to block. There's no way they're just sending in this to be eaten by the Green Warden, so we have to add the Sproutling in. Yeah, maybe so true, and maybe that's what makes it a good, clever attack from Oppo, but we really have no choice in the matter. This is what we've got to do. I think they're now thinking about True's point. they're like, huh, well, I have the +3/+3, but the thing dies anyway, so why don't I just take the Sproutling for now, and then I'll do this again next turn with my Baloth, and they won't have the Sproutling. Yeah, so that looks like what Oppo is going with. Kite sail, this is where it's not good, right? Like, we are not defending against flying, and we are not on the front foot, so having more blockers would be better than a kite sail, although our hand happens to be stocked with stuff to do right now, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I'm looking at... you want to go rock... We can go Rock Slide Sorcerer and take out the colony. We can go, because we hazard and then do 2 damage total. We can also stomp, though. But we can, yeah, let's kick the Sentinel and still have the hazard. I like that. And then we can get Stomper going in a bit. This is a landfall deck, D. This is really what it's built around. We first picked this, and I didn't look back. Green has been my best color when paired with blue, but maybe that has more to do with blue than green. Been waiting for that. Yeah, no response there. Good to know, Herschel. Calling out the lack of a pause. So maybe, so gosh, was that last attack really just a bluff into the Green Warden? Sure, although do I need, is Cardboard Live not working for y'all? I'm used to people telling me when Cardboard Live is not functioning. I have it on, but I clicked on it. D, too lazy to roll over. But for YouTube, I'll do it again. And still not dead. Oh, you're on mobile. Okay, D. Then you're forgiven. They are hopefully just throwing this Baloth away to get us to 2. We have no choice, though. Now, we don't have the Sorcerer extra damage, but let's see what we can do. We've got 8 mana. We spend... I guess we go Hazard. Oh, can we play this as... Oh, wait. I can play land cards. Does that mean I can cast the Spikefield Hazard? That's confusing me. Okay. Play as land and bounce it is interesting. But then that's a setup for next turn. Oh, no, it's a setup now. We bounce it and then have it. But then we have it and then set up for the Sorcerer next turn. And I will bounce 2 just for the landfall potential. And let's make our bigger creature fly. This already has reach anyway. Maybe so, fresh. It was somewhat risky, but it sets up a nice turn next turn if we get through this. Playing around Broken Wings. I don't know if they like Broken Wings is. I'd be surprised. Like, why would they have brought it? I guess why would they have brought it in though? Is my question. Maybe they just have it main. Okay, neat. We got some options here. We can go... It's funny, we got this double landfall trigger, but really not much in the way of landfall payoffs. But we get a Mountain Down. It is main deckable, but after they saw our deck, I'd be surprised if they kept it in. Right? Like, main deckable, but then I think you'd pull it against our deck. Did we show anything that would be a reason to keep it in? That's what I'm saying. Now let's go Rock Slide Sorcerer. And we can even pick off... let's just pick off the Diviner here. Or we could pick off the Chronicler if we were worried about that. But we can... We get 1, 2, 3 total points plus a counter on a creature, all at instant speed. So I think we just wait here. It does let them untap. We know they've got a Sentinel coming, so they got to keep that in mind. But I think we wait and do all of this action on their turn and surprise them with possibilities. Although maybe I'm supposed to get rid of the Chronicler before they kick, because they get a loot here. All right. I guess they're still giving us time to kill this if we want. Yeah, right. They get to draw a card. What should we kill then? We can kill anything with 2 power. I'm going for the thing. Even though they draw a card, the flying scares me, so that's what I'm thinking about. But we'll see how they want to attack here. They don't even want to attack. So let's... Oh yeah, it does get exiled. Excellent call. So let's do that. Nice. People reading. I like it when my team reads. And we can keep the fortification for another sorcerer action, potentially. So let's do this now. Well, they knew we had this. That was pulled back into our hand, so it was a known card. Now we can play this and put the Zendikar on it, but I think we need to play the Zendikar as a blocker this turn. So unfortunately, we don't get to do the sweet. Keep getting that spell back. I'm going to throw this on just a run-of-the-mill mountain here. Because if I put it on this, our creature's tapped, and we need blockers here. If they go for another kitty cat, we can fortify something and kill it before it gets a counter. Or we can just die. Nice deck oppo. That's kind of where I want to be. Green-blue kicker has been my favorite. Both favorite in terms of, like, I really enjoy playing the deck, and it's fun to play, and it's powerful. Yeah, Auto Tapper has been pretty good about not using your targeted lands to pay for anything. All right, we can keep this. Don't have much going on till 3 right now, but I can't throw this back. If they come up with a 1 toughness creature, we get a nice start of our own. Funny. They've got one too. We're going to hold ours for hopeful damage, though. Sproutling, ideally, is our turn 5 play, getting something back. And could not be happier about picking this thing off. Quite the card. We saw one of these wheel, didn't we? Like, we weren't in white, so we couldn't even take it. But I saw this wheel in a draft, and I just couldn't even fathom it. Hey, Simply Magic. Yeah, this is a free-to-play account. I did buy the $5 welcome bundle way back when we started the account, but I haven't spent money on this account since the opening bundle. All right, here's something else to do on 3. I love it. Well, at least they couldn't do anything with that mana. We could go Electromancer, Bite, and then send in the runner and force a trade. Is that worth it? We can also just go Electromancer, Brute, and maybe that's what we should do here. I'll do that. We'll save it. All right, Nectar Pot, we could play and then drop a land and have 3 mana, including a Bite. We could also drop a forest, play Zendikar, and just start sending the Zendikar. 4 mana, or 5 open mana, 3 colors, 4 cards. Probably sitting on the black removal spell would be my expectation here. Means it's really tough to try to get a Rabid Bite in. And I would rather go with the Zendikar plan here and let him kill the 4/4. Or we can just play. Yeah, I think we go Zendikar here. And I kind of expect this to die, but I'm going to offer everything but our Saboteur, because we'd happily trade off stuff in hopes of getting, eventually, our Saboteur through. Do not like this card, but we are pretty low on early plays, and it does gain us some life. So there's the removal I was expecting. Now I'm hoping for trades. Trade. Yeah, trade. I think trades are good for us. Maybe Oppo has reason to think they're good for them. Maybe the return 2 from the yard right now would be pretty good, for example. Or even... all right, that's good, but I hope they go... Oh, they're going on defense here. So let's go Nectar Pot, play a land, and hold. Could play the Sproutling, but it does not set up a Rabid Bite to take out the Charger. So I'm just going to play defensively here. Three and fight, but what do you mean? Fight a 5/4? Why are we fighting a 5/4? I'm going to be greedy on the Sproutling. Try to find a, like... This just doesn't do anything right now. I want... Okay, that's fine. This suggests that they've got something back, but if they come up with a 3 toughness defender, we get to Sproutling, Bite, attack. So let's take this and see what they're going to follow up their defense with, because they would not leave this wide open for attack. Ah, that's what I was talking about. Thwart the Grave. Give us removal. Ah, they got a grow tag of their own. Well, now we got to kill that. Drat. Let's go Brushfire Elemental, Landfall. And now we got a Rabid Bite the Runner, I believe. So we don't have to worry about that getting through. And then make some blocks elsewhere. And potentially, well, I guess we just take it for a turn. Thank you for that sub. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, totally happening to us again, right? Always perfect for Oppo on the mana. Do you agree with me on taking out the runner, or do we not worry about that and feel like at least it can bounce here and maybe we take out something that actually defeats everything? Yeah, maybe I just take out the Adept and we try to bounce off the runner. And we can even threaten Nectar Pot plus Elemental on Electromancer if we wanted, and then it's still a 1-for-1. So let's do that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've forgotten all my memes. Where is it, though? It's been so long. I gotta find it. Here it is. All right, the attack we expected. And honestly, I'm taking the trade I said we had available. I mean, not great, but it's still a 1-for-1 and helps keep the damage down, helps give us a chance to come back from this. Was never going to play around that, but at least we got it out of him now. Of course, Wildfire, not the right time for you. But let's draw a card. All right. Helps us potentially survive. We got to take out this or this. We actually have a double block on the ground in a turn off of the Sproutling. So I think we go Spellcraft on the Captain, bounce off the Grow Tag, take 8, go to 2. But then we need to draw, then we draw another creature. We play Sproutling. We can double block the Charger. We can, and then we use our other draw to block the other one. Right? So we got to go for the flyer. That's just working out what's got to die, and I think it's the flyer. And I need this back to bounce here. It's possible we find removal. Maybe Oppo helps us. Never mind, everybody. Never mind. Never mind. Bye. Bye. Facing the mall in the old 0201 bracket, but so goes. This card is not super beatable. But Broken Wings is a reason. Either Broken Wings or the Kite Sail or both. Probably just Broken Wings, given that it gets flyers also. Broken Wings for sure. Maybe on the Kite Sail. Skyclave we've brought in. Yeah, let's bring in this and this. I probably should have cut the Brute before. If I make, I might make that change next time. Yeah, Molten Blast. We're not playing white. Not splashing anything. You can cut the other Brute, which we did before. And even this Nectar Pot can go. It's just not very impactful. I don't care about it. I'm going to keep on the wildfire to find green here. This is a ways off, but I think this is ultimately keepable with the cleansing wildfire. And we'll play this as land. Well, we can just play fortification as land and save the wildfire. And play that next turn if we don't come up with anything else. Also, although we play it now, maybe we find a 3-drop that we actually want to play. So I'm going to do that. Hey look, a 3-drop we actually want to play. Gotta find a basic off the top, and maybe we will. Well, all the Mythic does is let us put it back on the battlefield. The real way to get this back is with Zendikar, which is in hand, or the Stomper, which is in the deck. But killing it to bring it back with our Mythic is just to put it back on the battlefield anyway. No, that's what we learned, Pocket Nebula. I wasn't sure about that, but that has come up, and the answer is no. You can only play it as a land. Apparently it's a land. Apparently modal spells are lands in the graveyard or whatever, because it worked. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Oppo. Just hit it all. We got Rock Slide Sorcerer, but nothing to do with it yet. Although Rock Slide Sorcerer, if it survives and then takes out, can do double bite action, would be interesting. But I think we'll go with Zendikar on the land. One of these lands. Do we want +1/+1 or hand selection? Probably just want +1/+1 at this point. I don't, you know, I like everything going on here. We're not actually going to use this effectively for a while. I'm going to go here. And I am going to make them have removal, which they probably will. But I could just, if we knew 100% they had removal, we should just take the 4 damage, because they're going to use it anyway. But I'm going to make them have it here and try to not let them have a card. Really, Royal? Wow, that is bizarre and wrong feeling. Okay, this is all fine. And since they didn't show removal, I'm inclined to go with the Rock Slide Sorcerer here and go to town, try to go to town next turn. That's what we're going to do. And what I mean by go to town is that if they play anything, like if they come up with 2 toughness, we can shoot something twice with the sorcerer while rabid biting. Like we could get 3 things dead out of 2 rabid bites potentially. Not currently. Maybe they're out of lands and the fledgling stays 2 toughness, but I'm expecting the fledgling to get to 3/3 here. We could also go ahead and make this trade, and the sorcerer still gets the other 2, so I'm just going to do that. I mean, heck, we could go... oh, we can play this land. So we have we have it all. Like, we can go... Actually, the extra damage from the sorcerer doesn't do much for us now with the current state of things, but I'm not going to mess around. We're going to rabid bite the fledgling, and then drop a sentinel. You want to clear the board here? I think we just leave them. I think we go sentinel, and then they haven't shown removal. We just kill this. And then I like playing this. And if they find removal, we still have a block on the runner. And now they can set us up for shenanigans if they play the right kind of toughness here. I'm being super paranoid about giving them extra cards. I feel this isn't about us getting in for extra damage right now. It's about us winning the long game by controlling the advantage elements. So we're going to rabid... Let's see, what can we do? This triggers the sorcerer, but then we don't get the other action. But I'm going to bite the captain, and I can see sending in the sorcerer now, though. Maybe I do need to start... Like, they're not showing any removal, and we do need to kill him at some point. So let's go... This also could be Subtle Strike, though. I should wonder... I worry about the Subtle Strike. Ping Captain 2? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, we can use Fortification on the Sentinel to get it to attack. We could do that at instant speed and kind of wait on that. But I like that for next turn. I'm just going to go... Yeah, I can fortify in response, so that play still works. So I am going to do the bite. And I'm going to bite... I'm still going to bite the captain. And now we have the fortification play if they come, you know, that we can even do at end of turn if we want. It wasn't that risky, I think. We had the fortification backup. So now I'm going to go fortify the sentinel, sack the sorcerer, kill the disciple. Yeah, I could have attacked there, you're right. I was a little distracted by the other play. I did intend to attack. What? What do you mean? This is perfect. If you don't ping the captain and they have Subtle Strike, yeah, wouldn't they have done it? You think they would have? Wouldn't? I figured they would have done it in response. Maybe I gave them some window to really devastate me on Subtle Strike that I wasn't thinking about. Certainly in my range. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that the fortification also gives us effectively an additional 2 to throw around, right? If they do a Subtle Strike, we fortify and we can completely undo their Subtle Strike, because their Subtle Strike is doing, you know, +2/+2 worth of action, and so is our fortification. Oh boy, we need some lands, but I'm gonna... I guess I keep this. We're on the draw, so we have some time to find extras. Worst draw on the deck, though, right there. Wildfire is Dees. Hopefully we just find a natural land off the top to go with the Wildfire, but take this if we can get a land off the top. Come on, land off the top. Oh, that helps. This is where, right? I was talking about this exact scenario. Oh, yeah, it kind of did it, right? I was saying, like, Oppo doesn't know that they helped us hit a land drop. Oppo does not know that that play helped us hit a land drop. But we're going to go ahead and play this as a land. And then Wildfire. We need more green than red anyway, so we'll do this. And get Forest. Kitty Cat says we can go cat land if we want. Might just go, yeah, I like cat land and then Lagak after maybe. Or if we draw another land, we could go Lagak and then cat land next turn. Rabid Bite is going to take out the Adept, I think, if we have any other... except that becomes our only play for the turn. This comes down as a 4/3 if it's doing that thing. So I like Kitty Cat. Or we could just play Lagak and block, have a LeBlock. Right? Like Catland gives us a 3/2 that's pretty vulnerable. It does trade with both of these, but we Lagak and we can threaten to eat the Adept while still threatening to trade with the Charger. What is that? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if this is a filler card. It just matters what the current board state is, right? I'm going to go with my line. Okay. 5 mana available. I think we're going to go cat, land, bite. Seems straightforward to me. And I'll offer the Elemental at this point. As said, this isn't actually that great of a card, and I'm happy to trade it off here if they want it. It's like it did its job already. It already did about as much as it can do for us. Trading off for a creature there is good work with their mana screw. Now we get this, and we'll go Green Warden. Probably get a scoop. I mean, Oppo's just obviously mana screwed here, and that's rough, but we've all been there, and we'll take our mana screw wins when we can get them. And do we have it? Lifelink, so they're a virtual 6. I think we have it with the Zendikar here. Ah, well. Was it a guaranteed lethal? I wasn't thinking about haste, but shouldn't have given them a turn if I did. That was one I had started to check out on because it didn't feel like they could win, honestly. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying why I let up on my tightness there. It just didn't feel like we could lose. Oh, wait, I want to reconfigure the main deck. I think it was correct to... We want to run that Sentinel. I want to run the Sentinel because we're not really doing the tribal stuff that makes the warrior factor here pay. I mean, it helps the Electromancer a little, but it's not significant. This is like, I think, the only thing that looks at it at all in our deck. And this can be returned with Sproutling. Doesn't seem like much, but like we don't actually have a lot of targets for the Sproutling. So I really want to have this kicker target for the Sproutling. And it's a nice sequence where you go this on 3, trade off for something, Sproutling it back, and then make it a 4/5. So I want that for sure. But I think that's the only main deck change I want to make. Brute is a short list to cut when we bring something in, but it's fine. One and one. We get nothing if we lose this match. We get 1,000 gems if we win. Always big stakes on the match 3 of a 1-1 split. All right, then. And with big stakes, I think we have to throw this back on the play. We don't have anything happening anytime soon without a forest, and without the guarantee, I'm not keeping. This looks much better. I think we ditched the Zendikar here. That's true, Rob. I can't dismiss that sweet, sweet pack. Valakut Awakening I like on the play on the tap play here. We're not using it as, if we ever use it as a spell, we're not using it soon, and we can get it back later. Here we can go with Cleansing Wildfire, since we do have Mancer Sorcerer, although if we want Mancer Trigger Sorcerer, we need to wait. Given that, I would love to find something else to do on 3, so I'm going to do this looking for a 3. Although I kind of want to do this on a basic mountain, but I don't have that choice, and I'm not going to wait. I will. I'll go ahead and do the Stone Forge because I do want to. I want to get a forest here with the mountains in hand. I'm not saving Wildfire because I would love to find something else to do on 3. If we can find something else to do besides Ardent Electromancer, I will be fist pumping, and that's what's making me want to do this. One extra shot at an alternative play. We didn't find it, though, so now we're in value, no value. What do we want to do here? I'm going to curve out. I think it's greedy to try and get a ping off the sorcerer that we don't even know if it's going to do anything. So we just got to move on with our lives. And we have the hand here to curve out. We go 3, 4, 5. So just let's follow the curve. That's fine too. That's just a 1-for-1 classic early game 1-for-1 that doesn't have a huge impact either way. Brush Fire Elemental is interesting, but I'm still going to stick to my curve. They're showing more potential counters again, but I'm going to continue to make them have it. We can't not cast a spell. You could have made an argument for a Brush Fire Elemental playing around the taxing type counters, but I was more just make them have it. I like to just follow my curve, see what they got. Rabid Bite is nice. Didn't have a counter before. Missing a land drop. Let's try to take advantage of that here and see if we can't land this Zendikar. Can't be into the roiled. It can, however, be snared. As can that. Well, funny. Brush Fire, ho! Do-do-do. Oh man, I guess we cast this, but not until after combat. Oh, you got it. There, now we each have 3 land. I've rewound from 5 to 3 to match up with Oppo. Funny, funny. What are you gonna do? Hey, as we know, this is not hard to do. We had 5 bubble snares in our draft yesterday. Yeah, that's what's great. We do get to bring our snared lands back eventually here. Not yet, but eventually. I'm not going to waste a rabid bite on that. Can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less, so this gets in. And then Night Runner. I will certainly rabid bite to clear the way for a Night Runner if the opportunity presents itself. Oppo on a hard luck game here. Wait a second. Oppo, I have less empathy for Oppo here as I notice that they have 38 cards left in their library. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. Oh, Oppo. Come join us. We can help you get better at this. As they might beat us anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Let's go. I'm gonna go Rabid Bite on the chill so we get our Grow Tag through, and then wait on the forest. Well, though it does get us landfall. The trouble is if we dig up land, we can't play it if we have used our landfall here. So, I think I'm gonna go for the damage. They're at 7. This just means that we may hit a land with Grow Tag and not be able to do anything with it. Is it just till end of turn? Okay, I'm going to play it while we can and play it on our Grow Tag. Now we have a lethal threat and a lethal threat with landfall. It's not going to untap, but, you know. Now we'll find a land off the top, untapped, stomp her back, a couple more lands, and be in pretty good shape for the rest of this. Oh, Green Warden, not the right time for you exactly, but we got a force block here. We'll take that. Hey, Cardinator. We've really failed to punish a struggling Oppo, struggling on mana and playing 51 cards. I sure hope we win this match. Be a little bit of a black eye to not manage someone running the old 51. But hard to, like, I think most of our 6s are gone. A land turns on everything. A not land, yeah, so hopefully, yeah, here we go. Can we get something back with kicker? No kicker cards. We can at least cast this, I suppose. But we'll get in for 1 and drop drop a Sproutling, I guess. Does kicking get us anything? No, we don't even have any kick rewards. Yeah, you took my Balos. I can't believe you ended up in green. We cut green so hard. felt like we cut green. Maybe we did. Am I missing? No, oh, we sent you all those rabbit bites. No, never mind. We cut green after we got into it, but it actually sent you. We actually talked about how we sent all those rabbit bites early, so it actually makes sense you ended up there. Well, Oppo finding a way here, but they still have a couple of force blocks if we find a land. Spikefield Hazard is a land, but it's also a spell, and with the Sorcerer it does 2 damage, so let's just go face and win. Well, infinite bubble snares. We will be bringing in our broken wings. We could cut the brute for that. It's kind of an average creature anyway. Kite sail. There's some flyers. We could kite sail it, but really we have 2 reach creatures, which is good enough for me. It was tempting, Razor. It was tempting to just control the board more, but I managed to find the win. Slide in 11 cards. I'm not going to give up that advantage. Let's run that 1 swap. Hey, finally have a Royal Eruption to work with, and a Broken Wings for when they bubble up our Sentinel on 3. But we're going to keep this and play land, this rare land on 1. Fortification is nice. We can get the Skyclave going. Ideally, we find a way to use it as removal in the process, but we're going to drop Sentinel and hope we can get tricksy with that fortification. Main deck disenchant effects. Main deck disenchant I'm not into. But Broken Wings is more than that. Broken Wings is main deck disenchant, flying hate, and artifact hate. That, I think, is justifiable. Just going to be patient here, take another smack from this tiny cleric, and then drop a Zendikar. Could have played Zendikar, I suppose, there. I like to play it on the turn I attack with it, though, and does leave Broken Wings up in case of flyer. No such luck there. We do get a Zendikar, and they probably try to trade, and we get to fortify it, though, right? Oh, yeah, no, we don't. We can stay back and fortify it if we want to do it on D. We'll decide. Oh, Rabid Bite, interesting. Let's just go, let's make the Zendikar on a forest. And then no attacks, and be possibly willing to block and try the fortification. Okay, well, we'll use it to save that then. They get in some damage, but we get to keep our 4/4, and now it's a 5/5. Traded for a good removal spell. I would assume it is. I don't know why they would suddenly wise up and reduce to 40 at sideboarding. Now I would like to Rabid Bite the Rider and just start racing. This leaves up the Broken Wings, so when they come back with their Bubble Snare here, we can Broken Wings it before our turn. Oh, a Wizard. Might just Royal that. happy to continue racing the... Yeah, it looks like they're thinking whether 1 damage is worth the lack of defense. Looks like they're deciding it is. That's fine with me. Gonna royally erupt on this wizard. Holding land now because we're not facing discard and we are landfall. It's possible we draw some stuff where we really would like to have a landfall trigger ready. And if we find one of our 6-drops, we can just play it and then play the 6-drop. So this is a safe land to hold for the strategy of our deck. Still waiting for that bubble snare and to break Oppo's heart with the broken wings. Hold eruption and use wings. Like waiting until it flew? Yeah, I suppose we could have waited till it flew. I like that line though. They showed us so many bubble snares. This is going to be useful, I think. Probably are going to freeze this and take a turn off. You know, this is where the cleric, you know, is not the worst. I mean, if what you're trying to do with this is survive till you can get your inevitability going in a long game blue deck, you know, this cleric for 2 mana is preventing 10 damage just on this exchange alone. So that's not, you know, we still don't like just life gain cards. And, I actually care less about the Tempest than I do about a potential answer to our land creature. But we can also take out this Tempest. We are at 10. I'm not going to mess around. Prevents 5 and delays 5, but how's that different, Rob? This is not going to untap, and we're never going to get that 5 damage back. It's not like when we attack next turn, we're catching up somehow. Oh, I'm going to still hold this. Molten Blast is an instant, so there's an argument for playing this, but I still think if they play something we can get with this, we'll untap and get them. I still want to hold the land. Normally I wouldn't do this, but we do have stuff that legit cares about landfall here. Uh-huh. Play this one, though. I'll take it. If we can resolve it. Now, if they don't have anything to block this, we start to take over. Let's see if they find something. All right, not enough. Not enough. We get to kill that. Or try. Nice. Still holding this land. Exploding Vithal. Blow up. Everybody's over you, Teferi. I missed a ping. Do we have the mana to do it in that order? I guess if we play the forest, we do. No, actually we don't, right? I don't think we had it. Maybe I'm wrong. 1, 2, 3. I guess it's 7 total. Yeah, could have had it. If we give up the landfall trigger. So, What a draw from Oppo. Unreal. Well, we can kill this thing, but the problem is the card quality they just improved on. Not like this deck. Not to this opponent, not like this. Come on. So, we can bite the master. What else does this do? Yeah, we can't let the master live, so we got to kill the master and then offer the Electromancer. Pause here. Wow, they're gonna do it. They're gonna shrink this dude to a 3/5. No, I am so tired of getting got by this dumb card. Still send this for a trade, though. Duelist is just good, Media. Give us a grade. Media, I don't know. You continue to be wrong about the Death Toucher. I don't know. You're the only person I know and talk to about this format and about Magic Limited who feels the way about a 1/1 Death Touch for 1. Truly, I like of all the of people whose opinions on Limited I very much respect, like yours. I can't believe we're that far off on that card. I'm gonna hold both lands. Show me, point me to somebody's Twitter post that shares your opinion. I mean, I just said, all I've said, Mehdi, is I've not heard anybody else say that, like, you find it, like, unplayable. Like, I don't know how you could have Duelist at C, and then what do you have for the Death Toucher? Now grade the Death Toucher. That's crazy to me, Media. I don't know how you get from Duelist at C to Death Toucher at D. That makes, I don't know. Again, I'm just I am. This is the widest gap I've had with somebody whose opinion I respect as much as yours.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
This has been an unreal comeback, and I'm trying not to be too tilty and salty, but Oppo's drawn perfect, and we've drawn garbage. They drew like the best card in the set and beat us with it. Okay, but Oppo, come join us. You're making a lot of. You could be making a lot better use of the best card in the deck in the set than you are, my friend Oppo. It's in the argument. It's in the discussion, right, Poseidon? For those of you who didn't see, what we're talking about is this. Like, Oppo rips this off the top and comes back. If Oppo doesn't find basically exactly this card at exactly that moment, they lose that game. But that's why they put it in their deck. I just don't know why they didn't put it in a 40-card deck. You want to draw that as much as you can, Oppo, as much as you can. Yeah, they did have a big deck. Anybody who has a huge deck and realizes it's wrong should be fixing that in between matches. It's not usually a sideboarding thing. Anyway, we'll just run it back here and hope that our deck treats us a little more kindly this time. I feel treated kindly. How about you? If you were wondering, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. In fact, Oppo added 3 cards. For those of you thinking Oppo came to their senses in sideboarding, Oppo added 3 cards in sideboard. Well, we can't keep this. So let's try and win with whatever we find. And trying to decide whether we're being land greedy or spell greedy here. We can ditch the mountain and hope we run into a bunch of lands. We can ditch the Zendikar and cast the 2 things we have and hope we find more. I think we have to cast what we have. Well, I'm going to try to have good humor about this if we don't win. I mean, Oppo drew the literal argument for best card in the deck to have an extremely unlikely comeback, and now we've mulliganed to 5. So if we can pull this off, great, and if not, I'm going to try to avoid the salt and just enjoy the magic today. Heck, I came in saying I was going to potentially 0-3 with this somewhat experimental shotgun marriage deck, so I'm going to be temper my reactions accordingly here. Yeah, I was getting salty, but I'm fine. Magic's fun. We get to too bad. Like, I think what we do is we let him hit us with this bladed cleric a couple times. Next turn we drop a sorcerer. Then we can blast the equipment mid-combat and eat the cleric. So that's my plan. Hey, fortification, not bad for a lot of things, but basically we get to start with a sorcerer here. And dream would be Oppo coming up with another 1 toughness creature. Then we have an Insano turn next turn where we go Molten Blast the Blade, Fortify the Sentinel, and take out, like, everything. But we'll say no blocks here. And cross our fingers that we keep our creatures. Ooh, okay, so that's fine. It's the second best case. We don't get to kill both of these, but we'll get this eventually, and we still get to do what I wanted. This is... we can... yeah, but if we wait and do both of these at the same time, we get to take out the Diviner. I'm going to stay back on D, and... yeah, we can blast the 3/2 and kill the... There's a lot of things we can do here. Do you want to do it now while shields are down? We can take the Jinx line, blast the Diviner, and take out the Wind Robber on the Sorcerer ping. And then we can still even fortify and block. So yeah, I like the Jinx line. We'll do that because we can still fortify and block. There's some risk here. We could get blown out, but it's only a blowout with a card that would have been a forest is giving us a chance to be a spell anyway. So you would have fortified an attack, but then we lose the possible ping value. I will go for a fortification now. Oh, so sometimes, mostly you declare blocks and then do your stuff. In this case, I'm going to do my stuff and then block, because if they've got counters, specifically if they counter this, I don't want to block with a sentinel. All right, coming up Millhouse here, we get to bite and attack. Looks good. A sorcerer of their own. Hopefully that is too late. Well, Bubble Snare is good for them. And us finding only a mountain is also good for them. So here we are again, getting the comeback turned on us. Although we've done great for a mold of 5, to be honest. And yeah, we're still going to offer trade. We got a broken wings that could unlock the sentinel at some point. And I'm going to hold land because we have both 6 drops to play this for if we draw, but we also have landfall things that if we draw, we'll be really happy we held the land for. Oh, yeah, sure. Oppo, no problem. Oppo finding gasoline. Let's draw lands. It's all right. We're 2 cards down. I'm not going to complain, like I said. I'm having fun. I'm really glad we got to play an alternate style of deck. We haven't really played a landfall deck since the very, very beginning of the format. So if this is what the Magic Gods wish to do to us, so be it. We are making the best plays we can and taking what occurs. So I'm going to bite the rider and shrink, hopefully, the champ before it picks up the blade. And is there reason? We have some like 7 stuff. I'm going to play the land out. Yeah, the rare spell land is a reason to hold, but also kicking back stuff is a reason to play it. I don't know. There's reasons both ways. Okay, well, if this lands, and this is just lands they're holding, maybe we have a chance here. They're pausing, though, so I'm not liking this. They had an instant pause, so they've got some sort of action in hand. All right, deck. I'm not going to be mad if we lose. I've already pre-diffused any tilting, but I sure would like our deck to give us a chance here. Oh yeah, we have to not block. We're not chumping here. We gotta find like a removal spell, and then we hit with the grow tag and find something else. Like we are slim, but not none. In fact, I'm gonna re-give you this one.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
And officially none. Vithal. No, I gotta be honest. It was not fun to lose to a 54-card deck full of jank. I'm not gonna be salty about it, but I'm not gonna pretend that was fun. So by traditional Magic norms, this was my last game of Magic ever. It's sad when it happens, but sometimes an opponent who's demonstrating so many issues, so many problems, and so many things that ought to be changed that you feel like, How can I possibly lose to someone making these magic choices? I make better magic choices. Therefore, the game owes me. Right? I make generally better magic choices than this opponent. Therefore, the game owes me and I should win. And if I fail, I must quit Magic forever. I don't know if they played. Sometimes there's cards. An individual card gets played that causes that. I don't know if they played anything unplayable in their 54 cards of gasoline, but I didn't say it, so I don't have to quit. And also, it's really just a magic lie anyway. It's the equivalent of the one time, So. I can. It's not really a soapbox topic, but I can explain those smiley faces a little bit there. It's about setting up before and after metrics for significant changes to your system. So there's a lot of things that you can test with the did I like that or not thing. So, because if you ask it enough, you get a nice baseline of what on average people answer that for. It doesn't even matter like how it doesn't matter how capricious my reasoning was there. Largely I have always clicked I had a good time, right? And then in that case the right combination of things happened where I said, no, you know what? No, that I mulled to 5 and lost to a crappy deck. That was not fun Magic for me. So I said not fun in that case, but it's all kind of average case noise. You ask enough and you get this established baseline. I have no idea what the baseline is. What do you think? That's a good question. What do you think their baseline average is of I enjoyed that? I think most people enjoy Magic and that's why they play it. Most people don't just say, boo, I lost, therefore sad. But yeah, Razor says 55% happy. I might guess like 60%. I think a lot of people are just going to say sad when they lose, happy when they win. But also there's all sorts of things you can do to chop up that data, right? You can say, what is the average case of losers? People who lose the match on average are 68% negative. Therefore, but the point is you establish these baselines, right? So once you establish that on average, a losing player clicks negative 53% of the time, if you introduce a new system and you look at those numbers and suddenly players are saying they're disliking it 58% of the time. That's huge. You know there's been a shift. So the whole point of Smiley Not Smiley is to establish a baseline from which wizards can glean how changes are impacting player happiness. Yeah, and maybe so. But the point is it doesn't even matter exactly what the percentage is that people click when they lose. The point is that you can gather that data, mark it, tag it, dice it up, and know that when players under these circumstances are averaging this much and we make a change to our system that shifts that average, you know that it's likely the change in your system. So yeah, sure. Maybe that's exactly why. Too many people said no, and they decided to ratchet the power level up, right? No, I don't think that's what happened. But, well, and maybe the worst part of that whole thing, though, is that what it ends up with, if we go back to this view, is that we missed the 1,000 gems. Mulling to 5 and losing to the 54 card deck has cost us 1,000 gems, which kind of stinks. But we'll claim the prize. Boy, I thought we would get to 20 packs today, but I think that's going to make 18. Oh, 19. All right, well, we'll open 10 here. Come back to that later. Hop to Soapbox, and all right, YouTube, thanks for hanging out for that one. How to not be super salty when you lose a match you feel like on average you should have won. All right, bye.